Hi guys, Sasha T here with weightlosseducators.com, and today we have a question from Daniel, and this is a pretty awesome question, and he actually kind of asked for my expert opinion from my background in corrective exercise, so let's see if we can help him out. Okay, Dan, or Daniel, sorry, some people don't like to be called that. But how can I work out, that's what he asked, how can I work out with incredible and unpredictable back pain? Well, this is a pretty involved question. But Doc gave him painkillers. Okay, so that's first thing he's telling me that they haven't really done a full diagnosis. They haven't scanned, which is what he says. They didn't scan his back. They didn't check anything out. So Doc just gave him painkillers. So what they actually might end up doing is sending you to a PT or a physical therapist, and they will do some tests and figure it out. It's really hard to say, because sometimes, it takes some time to get the scan, and people don't want to get the scan. They just walk around asking other people what they think as opposed to really getting doc advice. So what I would do is I would definitely get doctor's advice and what the doctor says first before you take anyone else's advice. But hopefully they can scan you sooner or later. He doesn't exercise, but he needs to. He's gaining some fat. And with my corrective exercise background, what can I recommend? So first of all, back pain. Let's talk a little bit about back pain, what it stems from. A lot of times it's from either pulled tendons. Spinal erectors are, they have pretty decent tendons there, and the spinal erectors are the muscles right at the base of your spine, on both sides of your spine, right above your butt or your glutes, and they basically erect your spine. That's what they call spinal erectors. Really also stems from tight legs, such as hamstrings or the back of your thighs. For those that don't know, those tight hamstrings can round your back and can really put a lot of strain on your spinal erectors. Hip flexors, which are kind of inside behind your abs, if you will, and go down, in front of your hips. They're basically responsible for when you do like sit-ups and stuff like that. Every time you lean over a computer, they're engaged. So that's kind of leads me to my next question here. What is your occupation, and what do you do, Dan, or Daniel, sorry. What do you do, because that's obviously contributing to your pain, okay, to your back pain. I see a lot of people that sit. I see a lot of people that stand, and then do this for a prolonged period of time, but they never stand still. They never stand normally. What they do is they tilt, they cross their legs, and all those things turn up a plethora of problems with hip tightness, because what you do now, your right side of your body and your left side of the body are not standing exactly the same. So one side of the body is getting trained to stand another way, because that's what you do. When you sit for 8 hours in a certain position, you train your body to sit like that and to use those certain muscles that certain way. What does that mean? You really, like, if you cross your legs, your hip muscles, especially in your lumbopelvic hip complex, and there's a specific muscle that usually gets very tight on everyone, which is called piriformis, and it's in the back of your glute or behind your glute, basically on your goes from your hip on the outside all the way into almost your tailbone, and it's responsible for rotating your legs out. So what that guy does, it's engaged the whole time and gets really tight, and now when you walk, instead of walking with your legs straight, your legs are tilted out like this. You're walking like a duck. And people think that's normal. It's not. So what you're doing when you're working, or when you're at work and you're sitting or you're standing or you're spending a lot of time in one position that's not completely straight, it's changed, you're leaning to one side, you're effectively training your body to tighten certain muscles, and then once you get off of work, you want to function normally. So this has a lot to do with back pain, especially because of the hamstrings and the glutes and the hips. All of those can have an effect on your back. So you have to understand that you have to pay attention. First of all, when you're at work, you have to pay attention how you sit. Make sure you sit straight. I know it's boring. Most of us don't want to. Our body's not necessarily designed to sit. It's designed to rest more so than sit. So that's why we figure all these positions where we can rest. But really, we're training our body to be tight in certain areas, and that creates a lot of not disabilities, but definitely misalignments and stuff in your body that's really is going to contribute to this. And that's why you have back pain. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know how it got there. It's because of what you do. So pay attention next time, everyone, not just Daniel, everyone, when you guys are at work, when you sit, Pay attention to exactly how you sit and what you do. And then you'll understand why things are tight in your body, because you just train your body. You just taught your body to be tight in those areas. Okay? Then, okay, always take doc advice, obviously. You can still exercise. Just because you need to lose weight and people say you have to do a lot of full body exercise, which is exactly what I say as well, when it comes to this is an exception. You can go and do bicep curls. You can go and do shoulder presses. You can go and do pretty much any machine out there, because machines are going to have a very set range of motion. It's really hard to mess it up on the machines. I don't know how tall you are, but just try to kind of adjust the settings to what you see in the picture. That's my best advice now. Obviously, if I'm there, I can tell you exactly where to adjust them. But if you're going to do this, you can do a lot of exercises. You can do isolations now. Okay, like I said, the bicep curl is an isolation exercise as opposed to like a bicep curl shoulder press, to like an extension or something where you use your whole arm. So you can do these isolations because you're not working your back. So you can work on your legs, you can work on your calves, you can work on your hamstrings. Really, if the hamstrings are tight, that's why you need to check this with a doc. Don't work on your hamstrings, obviously. You can work on your quads. You can do shoulder presses, you can do shoulder raises, you can do bicep curls. I mean, there's so many exercises out there. Just go to the gym and look at those. Whatever doesn't have your back involved in it, you can do it. So don't use this as an excuse. My back hurts, I'm not going to exercise. Do not use this as an excuse. You can still go and exercise. Painkillers, you have to understand with painkillers, that's just masking the problem. That's taking the pain away. The pain is there, the burn is there, because your body's trying to repair that certain area. So there's definitely issues there. There's issues in your lower back, but your body's trying to repair that area. That's why you feel the pain, okay? So make sure that with these painkillers you're not constantly taking them, because they're not going to help your body rebuild and repair whatever they need to repair. Proper nutrition is going to be essential for you, because you need to repair a tissue, certain type of tissue, and protein is what repairs tissue in our body. So make sure you're intaking enough protein, and make sure you intake enough carbs so that way you don't waste your protein. And that's one thing we actually do talk about and explain to you exactly how carbs are protein wasting. If you don't have enough carbs, you're going to waste a lot of protein, and how they all work together in our Camp Fat Loss class. So check that out on our blog if you're watching this from anywhere else, Camp Fat Loss. And check out our weightlosseducators.com. You'll find information about Camp Fat Loss there, and this is our website. Check it out. We have a lot more questions like this, okay? So for Dan, my biggest thing that I can recommend to you at the end of this question is flexibility. The reason why your back hurts, unless it's like an injury where you really did something stupid or pulled something, is because you're not flexible. So this is, again, another thing that's telling me that you're very inactive, and that you don't really do much exercise-wise and moving-wise, and flexibility is what's going to help you with that. Flexibility. Flexibility means extending the muscles that are tight, so your joint that muscle is connected to can travel full range of motion. So flexibility, at the end of the day, is really allowing your whole body to travel full range of motion. So if your body wasn't tight and your hamstrings could travel their full range of motion and they were loose, you wouldn't have this much problem, okay, or this many problems. So I would definitely work on flexibility. Another thing, in our Camp Fat Loss, we do have classes on flexibility and workouts, and you get those weekly too, so it's always homework and it's always changing. Check those out, and we'll launch the program here at the end of March. But if you're interested, check it out. If not, you can always go search for flexibility. There's so many conflicting videos out there and information out there. I can't really guarantee you anything, but definitely either that or start talking to a trainer or a physical therapist to ask them for flexibility, and they will definitely explain this to you. Obviously, it's going to cost you a lot more, but it's worth the money. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Check out our website at weightlosseducators.com, and we have plenty more questions like this, and we'll see you next day.